Yeah, it should be good. Freedom going for that first pick, Ember Spirit, and Infamous counter with the Slaughter, Darkseer. A very, very strong dual offlane. Slaughter obviously good versus Ember Spirit as you do have the amplified damage, a nice stun versus him. And it also gives you a nice wombo combo as you can vacuum into the stun. Darkseer, it gives you some dual lane potential, but you can also have the Slaughter start in the safe lane, then rotate down later. Ion Shell works well with him, he's a run at you hero.
5 seconds
Freedom picking up the Omni Knight, so staying true to their typical run at you, push early style that Team Freedom almost always goes for.
Yeah, I've had the chance, like I said, to cast actually both these teams a little bit lately, and I agree with you, Team Freedom especially. They really like to just come online very early on in the game, come together and start pushing, and Omni Knight definitely good for that. So him with the Ember Spirit, we'll see how that trend continues. The initial bans, Leshrac, Abaddon, it's not often you'd see a team that gets those two heroes banned against them, but Leshrac and Abaddon taken away from Freedom, and I think for good reason. Kind of fits the theme of what we were talking about. So Shadow Demon and Undying taken away by them.
Yeah, they quite often do aggressive dual lanes with the Undying, and they also favor Shadow Demon very highly as a support pick. They'll almost always grab it first if they can. I guess Freedom didn't want to take it as they did have the first pick, so they wanted this Ember Spirit, so banning out the Shadow Demon. They didn't want him against the Embers. You can always purge off the Flame Shield. You can pick up the Shadow Demon and the Luno, so just not wanting to have to deal with the illusion spam. Safe ban out, especially versus teams that really prioritize that hero.
Ban for Infamous, and then the one to come from Freedom, Disruptor taken away. Disruptor, I feel like there was some recent event where Disruptor actually was the most played hero in that. I want to say it was like the Chinese qualifiers for the DAC or something like that. And I guess that was a little bit surprising, but at the same time, I feel like Disruptor is almost underrated. The hero is just strong overall. The silence is great. The glimpse is a great tool. Why don't we see Disruptor more?
I think we do see him quite a bit. He's a hero without a hard stun. He's not great in lane. He's decent in lane, but he's quite bad from behind. So he's a hero that you kind of want to be ahead when you're playing on the hero. If you're behind, then glimpse isn't really super useful. You can glimpse them back to stop them from running at you, but that's just one hero, and the rest of them continue to storm at you. Kind of needs setup for your ulti. A lot of times the static field is not the most consistent spell, and I think he does get picked up a decent amount. He works quite well with the Darkseers, Slaughters, those kinds of heroes, just in general, because it gives you some nice wombo combos. Very good team fight.
Reserve time.
I'm kind of surprised they banned it against Freedom. It's not typically a Freedom hero. They will pick it from time to time. Freedom does go for the Juby Wisp, so a classic.
Classic Juby Wisp. So he says, I'm going to trust you on that one. I'm newer to the scene, so I don't know these classic hero player combinations. A hero that Wisp pairs up, well, there's a couple, obviously. Huskar is like one of the most famous ones, but I don't think we're going to be seeing that. Ursa, I know, could be a potential Bristleback even. I mean, is that those heroes that maybe expect to see?
I think a Bristleback is a pretty big possibility. They will pick it in pubs. It's a combination they go for at reasonable amounts. They sometimes will also do IX Mike Omni Knight, so that could also be the case, but they will go for this IO Bristleback from time to time. In fact, I played against it in a pub last night. They first two'd IO Bristleback when they were on the same team. So that could be a possibility. We'll see what they go for. Freedom has some weird picks from time to time. Their drafts seem to be sort of incoherent a lot of times, but it's all based around just fighting early, winning these early team fights, having tower push, strong team fight, winning their lanes, and able to just take early racks. And there it is, like you said, the Bristleback, IO Bristleback, an infamous combo, very strong dual offlane, and Ruben Weaver, not the best of lanes to be able to deal with it. They can try and get on top of this Wisp and bring him down, but do be very good at the Wisp, so going to be positioned very far back behind, not going to be able to get lifted most probably, and just healing his Bristleback up at all times.
This is a rare moment. I definitely got to give myself a pat on the back. Guessing the Bristleback pick right here. Not that it was a stretch. Now what do they final pick is the question. Now that one I don't really have any answer for. Like you said, Omni Knight could be the off-lane of Mike's hands, or could instead run him more as a support option, and then that would kind of change. But and then Bristleback himself, isn't Bristleback something that you could run in the off-lane as well, and that means they still need their one possibly?
Yeah, most probably their one. Tomato typically plays the Ember Spirit. I don't think BSJ as much experience on that hero, so it'll probably be the Ember Spirit mid, support Omni Knight, and then a dual offlane with the Bristleback IO. They stack up the Ancients a fair amount, as when you're in the safe lane, or just the Bristleback Soul and the IO doing whatever, it's a little bit harder to get those Ancient stacks up. It's really important that you do stack them up every minute you can, as they only spawn once every 2 minutes. So stack up the Ancients, stack up some other camps. The Wisp has access to that rune and a couple of those other camps, so he's able to jungle them up with the spirits. Overall, it's just nice to have that dual offline Omni Knight supporting whatever BSJ's hero may be.
Yeah, I know the new rune system with the 7.0 patch. IO was kind of one of the heroes that came to mind for a lot of people. The idea you get the early bottle and talk about just that rune control and how he's able to refill that bottle constantly. But with that said, again, it doesn't feel like we see the hero a lot either. We haven't seen him a lot, so I guess he's kind of one of those comfort heroes at the same time. He's not the easiest to necessarily play, and you really have to build the lineup around the hero, or at least get that tether partner with him. So in this case, they do with the Bristleback. They ban Ursa themselves.
10 seconds.
Yeah, a very strong laner against the Bristleback. One of the few heroes that can actually deal with this hero and bring him down early on in the game. Bristleback, a hero that's very, very useless from the behind typically, so you want to give him a good start, give him a good lane, let him get up to an early max, some tanky items, and 5-man with the team. When he's behind, he's just sort of this super weak hero that doesn't do much damage, doesn't have a stun, can't heal his team, not great in team, like these long team fights, can't get to these long team fights because you just get apart by the Slaughter, Amp, the Weaver, throwing in right clicks. So I guess they suspected it would maybe be a mid-Weaver if they're banning out this Ursa. Ursa can also go mid and lane versus the Ember Spirit and crush him. So overall, just a hero that would have destroyed whatever lane he went to. So a good ban overall, I think, for Freedom.
It feels like Necro would be a hero that fits just the idea of Freedom as a team overall. And I'm not saying we're going to see a Necro final pick here, but that's a hero we don't really see at all, despite a lot of the hype around it. Is there a reason why Necro maybe isn't picked, do you think?
He's very immobile. You kind of have to build a lineup around him, and he's very easy to kill to magic damage.
Slug.
He's good versus physical damage.
Dire team pick.
And would have been decent this game, as he's pretty good versus the Slaughter and the Weaver both. But just a hero that's extremely immobile, has the heal, it doesn't really scale that well late game, isn't a great laner. There's a lot of issues that hero has. He's kind of just weak, but we get to see the infamous BSJ Slark, the living legend.
They got a lot of these player-hero combos, apparently. BSJ Slark, the Jubi IO. What else was there? Tomato, Ember Spirit. Is that a classic?
It's not really a classic. He just plays it.
Tomato's a newer player, though, right? He's a young player, from my understanding.
Yeah, he's like 16, I think.
One of these prodigies. Insane. Just a little younger than yourself, right? You're not too old.
I'm 18, yeah.
Shadow Fiend final pick. Famous, okay, so they get their mid option here. Finish off, and Shadow Fiend Ember Spirit matchup.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Kotaro, a very good laner, and plays an extremely good Shadow Fiend. We talked about a little bit earlier. Shadow Fiend has a very nice matchup against the Ember in the lane and in the game. He does get a lot of items, can take the fight to his IO Bristleback quite well. The ulti, very nice, versus the Slark as well, as you have a lot of AoE damage spells, so the Slark not able to disjoint any of that damage whenever he goes into Shadow Dance. So overall, just a pretty good pick, pairs up well with the amplified damage from the Slaughter. It gives them some more team fight and push as well.
Here we go, game number 1, guys, of this series. Again, I'm Breaky CPK, joined by CCNC here. We got game 1 of this 2-game series, Infamous versus Team Freedom, our final series here of the night. Should be a good finish. Check. They're 0-2 right now. They like to at least get a win, if not win the series here. Rack.
Yep, with the South American qualifiers having a slot, they're definitely going to want to be doing the best they can, getting up to tip-top shape. Losing King Tekka recently, one of their best players, debatably the best player in South America. He went to another team, not sure which one, maybe some inside trouble there, so they do have Valkyria playing the Slaughter instead of who would typically be King Tekka. So maybe a little bit weaker than they were before, but still a strong roster with Benjaz and Guitaro, arguably as well some of the best players in South America.
That's a good point. Yeah, the Valve Major, they did announce that, didn't they? Where South America is going to have a team represent them. So that'll be curious. Yeah, Infamous is pretty much at the top of the list. You got a couple other Dialcom, of course, as we saw earlier, and then 40R, I think is another team, or SG Esports actually, they're now known as.
Yeah,
a couple that come to mind. See who which of the South American teams take the reins there, but this movement by Team Freedom off the bat, all five they're gonna go for a walk at the top here. Oh, that PC.
There we go, the classic. They're not pausing.
Pause. Guys. Oh, I guess
back.
I just reconnected. All right. Restart.
There's a quick DC. It's been some bug. All right.
Find anybody up here though? Speaking of the bug, Weaver. Keep at his distance, but they are going to steal the rune. However, the bottom rune is going to be taken by. It will be a 2-2 split still. Side.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to be going for this aggro duel, and like we said, the IO Bristleback and the Slark Omni Knight going down to this bottom lane. Slark Omni Knight, not the strongest of lanes, are going to be playing up against the Darkseer Slaughter. It looks like it's actually going to be a support Darkseer, or at least played by their support player. Stinger typically plays the 4, Excel playing the 5, and Valkyria playing their off lane. So their support player is playing the Darkseer. Not to say it necessarily will be a support Darkseer, but who's playing it. It's a very strong dual off lane. We'll have to see how the Slark does. He may suffer early on, and it's not the most amazing of Slark games. Very good versus their support duo though. Rubik and Slaughter do almost nothing. Or, I mean, I guess Slaughter is the offlane. And those heroes have a really hard time locking down a Slark because they both just have very obvious stuns that aren't AoE. You know, the Crush is AoE, but extremely easy to purge off and purge off the amplify damage quite easily as well.
Pretty clever trick right there. I'm sure it's done frequently, but I'm going to go ahead and make note of it as we saw. Wisp actually tethering with the ranged creep to help speed it up, as Bristleback was blocking the others, and then get it in the front so it gets killed right away, and thus pushing back the lane. So is that something we see often, or is that a pretty unique trick?
Yeah, we'll see it from time to time whenever people do these cheeky off lanes. With Bristleback, not the most common thing. Doobie taking a little bit of his experience with these Korean teams. They used to run with Bristleback a reasonable amount. Played on MVP Phoenix for a short stint. Back whenever they used to run with Bristleback all the time. So using some of those tricks, I'm very, very comfortable on the strategy. These guys play it quite a bit.
Jungle over here. You see Bristleback runs right over those, starts spamming those quills. Weaver kind of pissed off. Shikuchi's through, but I can't stay there for long. Those quill charges will start adding up, and all of a sudden you're getting hit really damn hard. So has to fall back from the area, but Io keeps that tether going to the Bristleback. Middle lane, Tomato. He might have a kill. Oh no, the Fairy Fire and actually cancels the raise. So kind of playing chicken right there with one another. Thus, Ember Spirit survives, but they have to use the Fairy Fire. Alive. They're also going to do a good job boxing out the bounty rune up here at the top lane as Io picks it up.
Yeah, actually going for the Aquila first on SF, kind of uncommon. Typically you go for the boots first in this matchup so you can stay out of the Ember Spirit's range, make sure he doesn't threaten to kill on you. Tomato going for the Quelling Blade to ensure he can get a lot of CS up. So Sumail did that in one of the matchups at Dota Pit, and the Ember versus SF matchup, it did quite well. But this Aquila is kind of uncommon. I'm not sure how good it is, and he may be in a little bit of a threat. Gives him some extra damage, and the mana regen is nice because he does still have his Shrine up, so probably going to go Shrine after this wave, but a little uncommon. Maybe Kotaro thinks it's strong, we'll have to see. But so far the lane reasonably even. Tomato with a good start, but like we talked about, Kotaro may be going down here.
Walk up and pop Flame Guard and Searing Chain. Seems pretty easy, right? So down goes Shadow Fiend. Yeah, I don't know if Boots would have necessarily saved him there, but he just simply got gone on. But bottom lane, speaking of being gone on, this big time from Darkseer down here. The Iron Shell's up, BSJ. He's got another pass, not up soon actually. He pops the Dark Pack, but he's gonna fall. Stinger credit for the kill. And it will be a 1-1 now, as far as the game goes. So they'll get revenge at the bottom at least.
Yeah, we didn't talk too much about this Slark, other than it being a BSJ hero, but not a hero that Freedom picks a lot this patch. Much better known for their Wow.
Those raises were beautiful by Tomato. Now, can he get the kill onto him as well? Excuse me, why am I saying Tomato? He's playing the Ember Spear. Wow. Trying to give credit to him when he's one on the other side. Well played by Shadow Fiend is the point. Turn kill onto Wisp. But as you were saying, sir.
Yeah, it's not a hero that Freedom favors much this patch. Maybe BSJ thinks it's a very, very good Slark game. They wanted some more late game assurance, but Freedom typically picking this patch picking more of these fighting cores, more of like an offlaner style. Pick LC safe lane, they'll pick Centaur safe lane, those types of heroes. So a more traditional carry in the Slark, a little uncommon for Freedom this patch.
Yeah. I definitely see what you're saying there. Like I said, I've been watching them a little bit lately, so that does come to mind. So, but BSJ again, on his Slark, you're saying plays it pretty well, or known for playing it even. I assume that means he plays. Crush comes out into Slardar. Yeah. Hey, I'm not involved in this, so no. He has the point nearby. They're gonna dive on him again, but yeah, he's gonna pounce away before being too crazy happens. No vacuum just yet onto Darkseer, but the Iron Shell's going to do plenty of damage. But here comes Omni-Knight. By the way, he's still in the game. And Slaughter will fall. So, yeah, I almost forgot that he was here, and so did they, apparently.
Yeah, a little bit of an overextension, but top lane, we talked about Bristleback wanting to get a good start, but only 6 last hits right now. The Weaver 26, this top lane really going in from his favor, and before that dive happened bottom, basically winning all 3 of their lanes. You know, the middle going a little bit sour, but the Shadow Fiend still getting plenty of farm up, has the bottle as well as the boots and the Aquila, so not too sad, even though he did go down. Tomato level 6, having a nice time. Yeah, this Bristleback only level 3 at 5 minutes. Really not where you want to be compared to Slaughter's level 5. But Wisp suffering as well, only level 3, so Bristleback may even go down up as well up top.
Bugs on him, trying to kill it quickly. Shikuchi's up, and not going to use it though. In fact, start falling back. TP coming in. It got canceled, it seems like. So, fine, Bristleback will have to just sit at the tower. No shrine to be used. So, long cooldown, just over 2 minutes here, 2.5 minutes really. As Rubik's coming in the flank. Now, this TP is going to come through, and it is IO. Pop the tether and start healing up with those bottle charges. So, well played there, Weaver. Continue to harass, but yeah, Bristleback looking for a little bit better farming. He's almost level 5 now, though, so as you say, they got a lot of experience there. Bottom lane, though, yeah, they're going to dive on this Slark. Take him out again with that Iron Shell. Eagle, not enough heal support there.
Yeah, you kind of have to worry for this Slark, not a hero that's amazing from behind. Can catch up decently well in the jungle, but you just end up getting run over. With this Iron Shell Slaughter pressure is not going to stop. You're going to continue running down at this lane. The shrine is still in cooldown, so I'm not able to shrine back up and immediately go back down. I'm going to have to go back to base. Just like the bottle and Slaughter, at least.
Okay, he does get it now, but I was going to ask, he didn't actually get Repel yet. He actually does get it at level 4. You know, it is good against the Ion Shell, I figure, that's being the magic damage there, but is that maybe a hindsight? Is it fine that he didn't get that earlier?
What, the Repel?
The Repel, yeah, he went the Aura even over it.
Yeah, level 1 Repel, not super useful in lane. You can put it on, but typically it'll just delay the inevitable, not really change the situation that much. And the Aura, maybe we're setting up a kill or wanted to zone a little bit. I don't think it matters the most, as it's only 4 seconds long. Not near the glamour it used to be on level 1, or just, you know, in general. Repel nerfed quite a bit, several patches in a row.
Both teams setting up a bit of bait here, it feels like, in the middle lane, and more so Rubik maybe just here for support, but Ember Spirit does have several supports nearby, both in that Wisp as well as the Omni-Knight. However, I don't know if Bites Zadusto is going to be looking to go up the hill here. Played too aggressive, so they are pinging him though. Ember Spirit going in. Here comes Wisp tethering up. The Razors come out. He's trying to kill the Wisp again, and he lines it up perfectly. He doesn't take it out. I mean, he's making that look easy. That's not easy. He's doing a good job with those Razors.
Yeah, nice turnaround kill from Kitara, but they do bring down Shadow Fiend and Tomato up to 700 gold as well as the 2 null talismans. So well on his way to this Veil, and he's sort of the shining hope for Team Freedom right now, as their other lanes really not going so well. This Weaver, a very, very good Weaver game. No stuns on Team Freedom. The only lockdown they really have are these chains, so very important this ever has a good game so that he's able to maybe make something happen. Give them a better shot at these team fights, because other than him, the rest of their heroes are quite low on net worth.
Bottom lane pressure. This tower is taking plenty of damage. Nothing that Slark can do by himself. He's So he found himself in a difficult spot. He's going to pick up a double damage rune, or he's over in the area, but he's actually going to leave it, and Darkseer will instead pick it up. So, yeah, I don't know if something just got him a little scared there or whatnot, but tries to allow Darkseer to pick it up in his bottom tower. It's going to fall in the meantime. So Slaughter, he'll take advantage of free farm, and he has 1,500 gold saved up, basically. He's almost got a Blink Dagger, and we're almost 8.5 minutes into this game. This is going to be a very, very effective Slaughter early on.
Yeah, their team fight is going to be extremely strong with him having the Blink, getting high levels as well, already up to level 8. And the Weaver almost has Dragonlance on top of this Ring of Health, so giving a little bit more sustain against the Quills, the Bassi, as well as the Wand. So the typical build, not going for boots. And yeah, the Weaver Slaughter is going to be very vicious in these early fights. Slaughter has up the Aquila, the Quelling Blade, healing up the base now. And going to go farm the bottom. We've pushed into his tower, but are they trying to farm with these Ancients? So just trying to catch up around the map, farming some jungle camps. Tomato continuing to do pretty well mid, has the Veil up already, so a 9-minute Veil. We said before, Tomato sort of their shining hope right now.
I love the idea of a hero being able to effectively farm by literally standing there, pressing W over and over again, and just having his back turned to the creeps. It's all right there with Bristleback. So yeah, it takes all that huge stack of Ancients, and that means that mech is coming just around the corner now. So this is Freedom's timing as they're getting it. This is a team that loves to group up earlier on, make some pushes happen, and that mech finish. It looks like they're trying to finish off the rest to make it that pattern now. Good to go. The Weaver and the Rubik at the top lane. Unaware that something could be happening here in the near future. Mike will say hello again and continue to push it out. You mentioned the Veil pickup on Ember Spirit, so that could also come into play here. But Clark is just going to continue to farm, and I assume he's going to try to finish a Shadow Blade as his first item here. Is there any way he goes something else, or is this going to be a typical first item Shadow Blade on Slark?
I think he probably goes to Echo Saber first. It's come a lot more into popularity lately, as it still lets you fight in these early game fights, gives you more HP. Slow with the double hit is very, very nice. Mana regen, so lets you stay on the map infinitely as well, on top of the Aquila. Makes you a little bit tankier, so if you try and get ganked. Just overall a good item on this Slark, and you can farm so fast with it having infinite mana regen, give you some more damage. You can get the Shadow Blade about the same time, just a little bit later.
Bristleback manages to live up here at the top lane. Look at the siege creep, by the way. It's now control the helm of the Dominator. It's kind of scouting things out. It's almost dead. It's gonna go all the way back. All he sees is wait, that's theirs. What am I saying? I thought that was the Radiance that whole time. It's getting late, I guess. Anyways, Dire side, they're gonna do a smoke gank here at the top lane. Bristleback almost died previously to this. This time he may be in a lot more trouble, and yeah, he's definitely dead here. The courier almost getting picked off too. That'd have been pretty crucial. But that's the mech and a couple other items on there making the mech on it, so survives though. But at least they kill Bristleback. It's a good start to this top lane now. Maybe start pushing it in themselves. Slow down the eventual push that was going to happen from Team Freedom as well.
Yeah, going on Katara a little bit, forcing him to TP back to base. Is someone had an Arcane Rune, I believe, so on him with the Flame Shield and the Veil. Keeping back to base though, perfectly fine on the Shadow Fiend. Has a Dragonlance up, he's gonna be working towards that BKB, so once he has that, it's gonna be very, very hard for Team Freedom to bring him down. FMS really have the advantage of being able to make the moves themselves right now. Freedom just sort of have to sit in lanes, wait for Infamous to make mistakes, overextend a little bit. They can try and do something with this Ember Spirit, but he kind of just has to sit in mid, deal with the creep waves that are constantly getting pushed in by the SF spamming raises. So Infamous has the luxury of being able to farm up, do whatever they really want on the map, as they have a better lane push and very, very hard to kill cores right now because the waves are constantly in. The Weaver, a very naturally slippery hero.
Yeah, Darkseer, by the way, the one that got the Helm of the Dominator. I was actually curious, thought about it. I was like, wait, who the hell got it? So, Darkseer is the one that has it here for Infamous. Again, not necessarily a hero maybe you'd expect to see it on, but this item has basically become a core item every game, no matter what heroes you have. It's just so good to pass up the aura of it, as well as the domination of the creeps, of course. So, top lane for Benjas. It's going to be fine. Shikuchi popped and to walk it off, but this should be a top tower push now, so we see Freedom coming together. Oh, they're gonna smoke, actually. Interesting.
Oh, and dude, Stinger has messed up so bad. He bought a Soul Ring and he's buying another Soul Ring because it's in his backpack. He doesn't realize it.
Oh, that's bad. And meanwhile, we do have initiation in the background of the quick denial, as well as the Omni Knight right here. BSJ can't live from the Maximize spike's gonna fall, and that's a cleanup in favor of Infamous. The stun not gonna hit Ever Spirit, though. He's a little too slippery with those Revenants, and he will be fine. But, well, hey, 2 soul rings. Hey, they got the victory in that fight, and now Roshov's gonna die.
I was wondering, why does he have a Sage Smash inventory? He has a soul ring in his backpack. It's unfortunate. Yeah, but they do take that very nice fight. It's sort of like we were talking about. Team Free now has a really hard time making fights happen. They don't really have any initiators in these fights, and whenever you lose your lanes like that, and you don't have heroes that can necessarily make moves, you're sort of... This is Infamous.
Where did he go? That's why. I was like, why is it taking so long? Oh, he actually almost died because of that. But he does not. He gets the shrine, he gets the reach, and he goes right back to farming. Oh, that was kind of greedy, but it worked. And he also has another 20. He has another 2,500 CC. Like, this is absurd.
Yeah, he had the Morbid Mask queued up and has a Crystallis now as well. Didn't end up buying the Morbid Mask, just going for this Crystallis, so going for very, very heavy physical damage. They know that Team Freedom's lineup is all about sustain, about keeping these heroes alive, and getting to the point where Infamous doesn't really have the damage to kill them anymore. And they can just sort of run them over, take these long fights, get up stacks in the Slark, but Infamous having none of that and just building a metric ton of damage on all of their heroes to counter that. So it's a very nice itemization adjustments from Infamous that probably going to make a big difference in these fights, as we saw them take the tier 3 top, winning fight after fight after fight.
How about this? So we got the Blink Dagger on Ember Spirit, so the mobility is real. We got Slark, actually, a Yasha into a Blink Dagger. What is going on here? I feel like that is just like a what?
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's just going the Yasha instead of the Echo Saber. No Tail at Dota Pit is going Echo Saber into Blink quite a bit.
Okay.
So I guess just subbing in this Yasha for the Echo Saber, a little bit of an interesting choice. Does kind of have some meta issues, you can see by his men pool. So you get about halfway, and gonna make it a little bit weird if the fight does arise. It's gonna be not able to spam out too many spells, doesn't have the wand either. So going for the Blink now is gonna make it a little more mobile, try and get on top of these squishy supports. The Rubik, cancel the Slaughter's Blink. Slaughter does have a hood now, so he is no easy fish to take down, and the Mac on Darkseer as well as the HOD, so a lot of their heroes quite tanky, so I don't know if this Blink will be able to go into too much use, but I don't know if any item would at this point. He really needs more than 7,500 net worth, as the SF almost doubling him up at this point.
Yeah, that makes sense there. Weaver, we've kind of been overshadowing Weaver a little bit because of the SF talk, but I mean, Weaver, Desolator, now a Diffusal Blade finish on top of that, and he's working towards a Lincoln Sphere finally, but is very aggressive when it comes to his damage as well. So this right-click presence of Infamous right now is damn absurd. Between those two heroes alone, you got the Corrosive Haze debuff, which is level 2, being applied to people as well. That's minus 15 armor. Then you got the aura, of course, from Shadowfiend on top of that. So no surprise that they're dying so quick. They're going to jump Omni Knight right here in the background to lift up the vacuum in. Right-click here. They don't even have their big right-click here, so it's not going to be enough initially, but it does get the kill. He got the Guardian Angel off, though. The wall is down. Slark trying to hold his ground. Has the shot. Oh, the big right-click of Tulso! Takes out the Slark, takes out Ember, and Ajax, Mike, you ain't taking enough. That's going to be a complete wipe in favor of Infamous, and now that's the tower, and man, that was a beautiful ulti.
They have the Omni Knight going down super early in the fight, not able to get any heals, any repels off. The SF, they aren't getting on top of them. They aren't pressuring him, forcing him to run away or bursting at the beginning of these fights. He just kills everyone, almost 3-shot the Ember Spirit. And the Ember just not able to get on top of these fights because they do have the mech, they have the hood on this Slaughter who's just running in, making a lot of space for him. They really have issues getting on top of this SF. The Ogre Ice armor as well, just gonna take these racks. There's nothing Team Freedom can do. They just lost their lanes so badly. Slark getting super far behind and never really having an impact. Only Ember Spirit having a decent game.
Yeah.
Radiant's top barracks are
Very, very well played by Infamous, no doubt. They are looking really good. I mean, it's somewhat unique build, but at the same time, it's clear as to why, and it is working. We did see Super Vengeance here on the Weaver, trying to run away. Slark gonna jump in, but that vacuum pulls him in into that crush battle, as you mentioned. They get the one quick kill on an Ember Spirit. He does not have a buyback. BSJ still trying to pick up any way he can, but he honestly just doesn't really do that much damage. It's no surprise. Io goes down. That should do it. I think Infamous just broke through, and that should be GG. There we go. Good game, well played. Game 1. Decisive for Infamous.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
Yeah, they Team Freedom trying to switch it up a little bit, go for a different playstyle instead of their typical super group up early on, but not really that used to it. Slark pick really not working out, getting too dumped on in this lane and never really coming online, and Infamous just kind of running over them, even with Kotaro going down early, Tomato showing off his individual skill, but just not mattering. Team Freedom kind of Omni Knight, so that could also be the case, but they will go for this IO Bristleback from time to time. In fact, I played against it in a pub last night. They first two'd IO Bristleback when they were on the same team. So that could be a possibility. We'll see what they go for. Freedom has some weird picks from time to time. Their drafts seem to be sort of incoherent a lot of times, but it's all based around just fighting early, winning these early team fights, having tower push, strong team fight, winning their lanes, and able to just take early racks. And there it is, like you said, the Bristleback, IO Bristleback, an infamous combo, very strong dual offlane, and Weaver, not the best of lanes to be able to deal with it. They can try and get on top of this Wisp and bring him down, but do be very good at the Wisp, so going to be positioned very far back behind, not going to be able to get lifted most probably, and just healing his Bristleback up at all times.
This is a rare moment.
Quite well with the Darkseers, Slaughters, those kinds of heroes. Just in general, because it gives you some nice wombo combos, very good team fight.
Reserve time.
I'm kind of surprised they banned it against Freedom. It's not typically a Freedom hero they will pick from time to time. Freedom does go for the Juby Wisp, so a classic.
Classic Juby Wisp. So he says. I'm going to trust you on that one. I'm newer to the scene, so I don't know these classic hero player combinations. A hero that Wisp pairs up well, there's a couple obviously. Huskar is like one of the most famous ones, but I don't think we're going to be seeing that. Ursa, I know, could be a potential Bristleback even. I mean, is that those heroes that maybe expect to see?
I think a Bristleback is a pretty big possibility. They will pick it in pubs. It's a combination they go for a reasonable amounts. They sometimes will also do IX Mike.
Freedom Disruptor taken away. Disruptor, I feel like there was some recent event where Disruptor actually was the most played hero in that. I want to say it was like the Chinese qualifiers for the DAC or something like that. And I guess that was a little bit surprising, but at the same time, I feel like Disruptor is almost underrated. The hero is just strong overall. The silence is great. The glimpse is a great tool. Why don't we see Disruptor more?
I think we do see him quite a bit. He's a hero without a hard stun. He's not great in lane. He's decent in lane, but he's quite bad from behind. So he's a hero that you kind of want to be ahead when you're playing on the hero. If you're behind, then glimpse isn't really super useful. You can glimpse them back to stop them from running at you, but that's just one hero, and the rest of them continue to storm at you. Kind of need setup for your ulti. A lot of times the static field is not the most consistent spell, and I think he does get picked up a decent amount. York's. Yeah, it should be good. Freedom going for that first pick, Ember Spirit, and infamous counter with Slaughter, Darkseer. A very strong dual offlane. Slaughter obviously good versus Ember Spirit, as you do have the amplify damage, a nice stun versus him, and it also gives you a nice wombo combo as you can vacuum into the stun. Darkseer, it gives you some dual lane potential, but you can also have the Slaughter start in the safe lane, then rotate down later. Ion Shell works well with him. He's a run at you hero.
5 seconds.
Freedom picking up the Omni Knight, so staying true to their typical run at you, push early style that Team Freedom almost always goes for.
Yeah, I've had the chance, like I said, to cast actually both these teams a little bit lately, and I agree with you, Team Freedom especially. They really like to just come online very early on in the game, come together and start pushing, and Omni Knight definitely good for that. So him with the Ember Spirit, we'll see how that trend continues. The initial bans, Leshrac, Abaddon, it's not often you'd see a team that gets those two heroes banned against them, but Leshrac and Abaddon taken away from Freedom, and I think for good reason. Kind of fits the theme, what we were talking about. So Shadow Demon and Undying taken away by them.
Yeah, they quite often do aggressive dual lanes with the Undying, and they also favor Shadow Demon very highly as a support pick. They'll almost always grab it first if they can. I guess Freedom didn't want to take it as they did have the first pick, so they wanted this Ember Spirit, so banning out the Shadow Demon. They didn't want him against the Embers. You can always purge off the Flame Shield. You can pick up the Shadow Demon and the Luno, so just not wanting to have to deal with the illusion spam. A safe ban out, especially versus teams that really prioritize that hero.
Ban for Infamous, and then the one to come from